Extend your Wi-Fi. Simple fixes for better home coverage. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Here's a question. I have a basic router, but the signal does not penetrate well throughout my house. What is the best way to get excellent coverage everywhere? I was thinking of adding a wireless access point at the opposite end of the house. There are a couple of approaches to extending your wireless network for your laptop or other wireless devices. Depending on the characteristics of your home, adding one or more wireless access points might well be the best approach. It's something I do myself. On the other hand, it's not appropriate for all situations, so I'll look at a couple of common alternatives as well, which I've also used in different situations. Now, the basics. This is the basic situation. The internet comes into a wireless router, which is nothing more than a combined router and access point, and the wireless connection is available for anyone within range. The problem, or rather the most common problem, is either distance where the laptop you want to connect wirelessly is too far away, or there's some kind of obstruction that blocks the wireless signal. That block might very well be a wall or electrical equipment or something else that just interferes with the signal. Solution number one. The traditional and typically the best solution is what you've suggested, is to add an additional wired access point, not a router. The access point connects via a cable to one of the router's available wired connections, and that cable then bypasses the interference or bridges the distance so that an additional access point can be placed closer to the device that needs it. The preferred and most robust solution is putting a cable in place. You can, for example, place a switch at the end of that cable and hook up additional wired equipment as well. To address your plan, opposite ends of the house sounds good, but keep in mind where you expect the computers to be used the most and optimize your placement for that. For example, my wireless access point sits in my family room, where my wife and I frequently use our laptops. Solution number two, wireless repeater. A wireless repeater is nothing more than a wireless device that hands off communications between 2 points. The repeater is placed somewhere between the wireless router and the computer you want to connect to wirelessly. I say somewhere because this part can get tricky. It needs to be close enough to the wireless router to get a good signal, yet close enough to the wireless devices to provide a strong signal. In this diagram, I've placed the repeater on one side of the wall, or the interference, but in reality it could be just about anywhere as long as those two close enough criteria are being met. I carry a Wi-Fi repeater with me in my travel trailer. Wi-Fi connectivity at campsites and elsewhere can be tricky, depending on where I park in relationship to the campground's access point. Solution number three, better antennas. Another approach is to get better antennas, either for the wireless router or the remote device, or both. By replacing or adding larger or directional antennas on the equipment involved, you can occasionally increase the range of the wireless signal. A larger or a directional antenna on the wireless router can produce a stronger or clearer signal. A larger or directional antenna on the remote device gives it bigger ears with which to receive the signal. I've heard of this solution working well in many circumstances as it increases the range of unobstructed wireless signals. But like the repeater, it can be somewhat difficult to set up. The specifics of what's available will depend on your router, the devices, and the ability to get creative. A common example I see cited is the so-called cantenna, made out of a potato chip can, which creates a highly directional homemade antenna. Wi-Fi is great, and it's ubiquitous, until it's not. Hopefully, you can use one or more of these techniques to extend your range and get solid Wi-Fi connectivity where you need it. For updates, for comments, for links to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/4336. If you've got questions, visit askleo.com/ask to ask them. If you'd like to subscribe to my weekly Confident Computing newsletter, visit askleo.com/newsletter. And if you're interested in maybe helping Ask Leo out and keeping us on the air, visit askleo.com/patron for a menu of options. I'm Leo Notenboom. This is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.